Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all of the praises and the glory to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashem Warakak, Wadash, and double honor to the elder apostles of the great millstone and the elder bishops on down that have taught as well this truth. And Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Brakatham to the overall elect. And it's your brother Laban, and I want to get into this as well from the standard news. But as you can see, I'm on a Yahoo, and I'm going to be reading it from here. Of course, as this reads, British counter-terror police on alert over the copycat attack after New Orleans tragedy. The British counter-terror police have urged vigilance over the threat of a copycat incident after the attack in New Orleans that killed 14 people celebrating New Year's. The alleged perpetrator, U.S. Army veteran Shamsuddin Jabbar, was shot dead by police and was said to have sworn allegiance to terror group Islamic State. The tragedy was closely followed by a Tesla Cybertruck exploding in Las Vegas in the blast that killed the driver and injured others. Although the incidents are not thought to be connected, the terror threat to the UK is currently substantial and has been at this third of 5 grades since the February of 2 years ago, but the perceived level is constantly being reevaluated. So there you go. So could it very well be the case that what happened in New Orleans could happen in the UK, primarily in the city of London? Is highly likely. All right, but what I also want to bring to the forefront in this is to say that whenever there's great crises that are about to happen, all of the higher ups are privy to that. All right, all of the higher ups are privy to that, and so there you go. So obviously, when these things happen, it's for a reason, and it's these devils that can get away with doing this because it's in the palm of their hand. I mean, come on, let's just be real here. The average person doesn't have really the goal to do something on this kind of level. All right. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, because you got people that may have the ability to do it because they done lost their minds, because their life is just gone way left. So it's possible, but I'm just saying on a regular, usually people don't have the courage to do some stuff like this as they're regularly making it out to be. So, we could very well guess right, and would be right, that this is more than what they say is what they want us to think that this is, when it's not. Okay? And so that they can convey a point later on as to why they want the world to be sea-hipped. Because that's what they want anyway. I don't mean to change the topic, but come on, that's what all of this is leading up to. They want the world to be tripped. So you need greater excuses. You need very powerful excuses to make things work. And things work based on crises. Case in point, when the COV came, people were shocked and feared because of what the mainstream media was telling them about this particular variant that was floating in the air. So what did people do? People got in their P's and Q's and did exactly what their government told them to do without even thinking twice, because they were moved by fear, right? So when you have crises like these, it changes the world at an instant. It changes things instantly. And without crises, if they would have worked towards getting this mark initiated or whatever they wanted to get initiated, it would take a certain amount of years. But to quicken things, crises are the way to go. All right? So that's all I got to say right here. So, they found out that this man over here did all of this over here. And if you look at this guy, he looks like all of the nations all in one. All of the 18 nations you can think about. He looks like them all. So this is the perfect guy that they pulled out of nowhere, man. Including the 12 tribes too, man. Which is to say that, look, anyone is possible of being a T. And then you got this guy over here, Matthews Livelsberger, which happens to be a so-called JOO. And I mean, like, They could have given this guy that name because that name is so way out there that you don't really usually hear of. Now, you got people that do have weird names, but come on, that name looks like it's been made up, man. So again, they're just conveying this message why we gotta put you under the mark of the beast. Because we need to see what the hell is going on with people. All right, we gotta understand the ins and out of people, and it's really to do with the fact that they want to control everything and everybody as well. That's the ultimate agenda, and so therefore they can become the gods that they've had in mind, which that is not within the will of the Lord, and so that therefore it's not going to happen. All right, and we got to go all the way back to the times of the past, as it is written. Let's read this, and then I'll get to that point. Ecclesiastes, 1, and verse 9 to verse 10. The thing that have been is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new, it have been already of old time, which was before us. Right? So I want to read a little bit of this, and we bring this up from time to time, especially when dealing with cases like this on the news and stuff, right? And it was done in ancient Rome, where you had a great fire that fell upon Rome, and it was caused by Nero, right? And the Christians were blamed in this case. Christians in this case meaning people like the Apostle Paul and the Apostle Peter, which spreaded their message around, and what they wanted to do is to stop that message from germinating. All right. So as this reads, Nero, the infamous Roman emperor who ruled from 54 to 68 CE, and I'm going to guess this too. Now, I could be wrong, but I'm just speculating. I think this situation they tied the Apostle Paul to as well. All right. I don't know if that's true. I'm just speculating. Is notorious for his persecution of Christians. Nero's reign was characterized by political turmoil, economic instability, and widespread social unrest. During this time, Christianity was still a new and growing religion, and its followers were often viewed with suspicion and hostility by the Roman authorities, right? Because they were speaking up against it, as it is written that the prophets which have came before us of old time prophesy against great kingdoms, of pestilence, of wars. Jeremiah 28:8. All right, so when you are in a world that doesn't live up to the standard of the Heavenly Father's ways, you speak up against it when the Lord wakes you up to his knowledge. And that's the same thing that we're doing right now. And that's why the Apostle Paul and them were basically tried for treason, because they were speaking up against an empire. All right. Nero's persecution of Christians was a significant turning point in the early history of Christianity, and it had a profound impact on the development of the religion. The spread of Christianity in the centuries leading up to Nero's persecution was a gradual process that was marked by both success and opposition. Christianity began as a small sect within, we ain't even going to use that term, man. We ain't even going to say that. Excuse me. We ain't going to say that. In the first century CE, and gradually expanded beyond its roots to encompass a diverse group of believers from all walks of life. One of the key factors in the spread of Christianity was the work of the apostles, including Peter and Paul, who traveled extensively throughout the Mediterranean world to spread the message of Yahushua the Anointed. So there you go. So that is the reason why they did this 2,000 years ago, to prohibit the truth from getting out, because the truth was spreading like wildfire. All right. And they didn't want many people under the influence of this. So the same thing will be had in today's time. So when you have these ongoing crises, or let's just say we come into a time where there's going to be a multitude of crises, some of these crises they can blame on the service of the prophets. Case in point, they can even use this crisis as a reason to persecute us later on when DJ Trump gets into office. We'll have to wait and see how this thing's going to play out, how things are going to play out in regards to Jacob's trouble being had. All right. But you get what I'm saying. They're gonna seek to do the same thing to us because this truth is garnering a lot of attention and is quickening the minds of many among our people to the truth as to who they are and what they're supposed to be really doing on the face of the earth. Okay? So that's the bottom line, man. That's why they setting all of this up. To do away with the freedom and the rights of the people and to do away with truth, which is what we have ultimately, the highest level of. Thanks to Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay? And this is all going to be done by the will of the Lord anyway. But Esau's going to be thinking that he's doing his own will, when in fact, no, the Lord is going to actually do his will on the left-hand side and getting this to go down. All right? And that's how we're going to transition to the other side, as it is written that confirming the souls of the disciples as we are currently of the Lord himself, that through much tribulation shall we enter into the kingdom of heaven. Okay? And that would be the case, man. So we're not ignorant of anything, great or small. And as the Apostle Paul said, that we are not ignorant of Satan's devices, lest he has an advantage of us. So we know the score, man. We know what's happening out here. All right. So that's all I got to say with that. I want to give all of the praises and the glory to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Bahasham Waharakah Kwadash. And double honors to the elder apostles that have taught us this truth, and including the elder bishops on down too. Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Brakatham to the elect overall, 144,000, and as well as the 1/3 too. Shalom.